Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's what it means to be a rock star, right? Most people would say, yeah. Not so much for me. Let me explain. See, back in 2006, I started my journey as a fitness professional with a company here in town, in Calgary, Alberta. Now, truth be told, I really just wanted a gym membership. So I was willing to do whatever job they had. And thankfully, they had a sales position. Now, I had no idea what that job entailed. And I thought, well, if it gets me a gym membership, I'm game. Man, was I out of touch. I later learned on the job that 98% of that job was cold calling strangers and trying to persuade them to turn their 2-week trial pass membership into a 12-month paid in full with personal training. Now, that might not seem like a lot, even be a big deal to many people. However, I was a kid who was terrified, I mean it, terrified of talking on the phone with my own grandparents. You know, just me imagining trying to call some stranger up and invite them to meet me at a gym, walk around, and then me try to sell them a gym membership was just bonkers. I hated talking on the phone and quickly learned that I hated a couple things more than that, like not paying rent on time, not having any money for groceries so I couldn't eat, and not paying my bills. So, like I said, I learned pretty quick. At the same time as this was all happening, I was breaking in on the scene in Calgary, in the local music scene, as a drummer, established drummer. And those two worlds were polar opposites. It's totally backwards, right? Push-ups by day, high kicks by night, stick twirling drummer, right? And beer, and late nights, and addiction, and insomnia, and the list goes on. The worlds were miles apart. I had to wonder though, because I was feeling it, and I was taking care of myself in the gym. I was eating well. Couldn't help but wonder what my bandmates and all the other colleagues in the music industry were feeling. Right? If I was feeling like shit, how could they be doing? Now, the thing I loved about the membership job was how I could affect people and get them into a healthier lifestyle. Then I realized I could take it one step further because I got to see what all the trainers were doing, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be right there, side by side, helping these people get fit. So I looked into becoming a personal trainer, and then I did it. I was super student, studying guys like Paul Chek, Kelly Starrett, Alan Cosgrove, you name it. If it was anything to do with fitness, nutrition, wellness, I was in. Okay. Meantime, I was also finishing up my undergrad in 2012. So when it came to education, I was the classic perpetual student. Now, fast forward to 2015. I was still playing music, I was still coaching, and now I added another thing to the list, skating, speed skating, full time. And I had this opportunity to head over to Insel, a tiny little German town in the southernmost part of Germany, right near the Austrian border, to go try out for a spot on their international speed skating team. Now, it turns out, as you do, go to Germany, you might as well make a Euro trip out of it. And anybody out there watching this that's thinking about doing that and also taking part in a high-performance athletic camp, do the high-performance athletic camp first before you visit places like London, Amsterdam, Munich, Berlin. Okay. It was a party. And despite the poor lifestyle planning that I made and arguably mediocre performance, the coaches gave me a spot in the fall for development. And that was awesome because I had the goal of skating in 2018 for Canada at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. So that was super, super big moment. So as soon as I learned that, I figured, oh, wow, camp was still going on, but I could head back home, pack up my stuff, take care of business at home, and get back over here a little sooner because they wanted me back for September. So I talked to the team director, and they raced me over to the train station because I had booked a flight in 2 days, and I had to get going. So we got to the train station. I'm sitting on the train, and there's Wi-Fi on the train, right? So I'm going through, and I remember when I was back home, there was this band that I was really interested in seeing. And of course, when you go to Europe, it's like the music festivals and music. You just want to be a part of it. So, the rock star in me was like, I just really want to see a show. So I'm on the train and I'm flipping through my phone and I've got the Wi-Fi going, and sure as shit, the band I wanted to see, the Intergalactic Lovers, was playing in Munich on the night I was getting into Munich from Insel for a little stopover. I had a big change. There was a connection for trains to get all the way up to Frankfurt. And I happened to be in Munich the same night as the Intergalactic Lovers. So I was like, what are the chances? That's great. The thing about it back in the day, though, you got to keep in mind, this is before smartphones were super equipped with data plans and everything, is that I stepped off that train. I no longer had Wi-Fi and I was in a foreign country. So I was shooting in the dark. I had no idea where I was. Thankfully, I spoke enough German conversationally to get myself around, and I saw this gentleman sitting on the side of the road, like literally sitting on the sidewalk, and let's give him a name, Helmut. I asked Helmut where the Ampere is, which is the venue that the band was playing at, and he points across the bridge and into what looked like the Enchanted Forest. And I'm like, I think you misunderstood. I know my German's bad, and I think you misunderstood. So I say it again, and he's like, no. You want to go right across the bridge over here? And I'm sitting here going, this guy is sending me over to his homies. They're gonna jump me, steal my training gear. I'm walking around Germany with this big backpacker's friggin' 45-gallon backpack. Looked like I just got out of a friggin' alpine trek or something at the hostel. And I go, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'm going to take my shot, get across the bridge, down into the Enchanted Forest, take a right. It's dark, trees, everything. And I get around the corner and I hear, I'm like, holy shit, Helmut was right. Helmut, rock on, brother. Again, a little bit of German, English translation with the bouncers at the door. They love that I'm a performance athlete from Canada. They give me a deal. They're not charging me cover. The show's almost over. I think there was something like 3 or 4 songs left of the band. So I was catching the tail end of the show. Still wanted to be there. They let me in. No line, no cover, no nothing like that. And they just said, hey, don't start any trouble, and tip your waiters or your servers well. All right, fair deal. So I get in. They even take my backpack, put it behind the bar, which was great. Get in and do the fanboy thing, of course, because the show finishes off. I buy some merch. I talk to the band and let them know that I had came all the way from Canada to come see their show, which was partially true. Just left out all the training and Euro trip stuff. They loved that, and then I noticed the guitarist going like this right up here on the strap side of his guitar, up on his shoulder there. I'm like, hey, you got something going on, man? I can help out. Immediately, my coaching hat comes on, and I go grab some of my training accessories that help with recovery, and I show him what is now known as one of the staple 5-minute fixes of the Music Fit method. More on that later. And they go, oh, wow, that's so awesome. And we, exchange numbers, contact information, and stuff like that. And I make my way back to the train station. They're like, no, you got to come on tour with us, jokingly, I'm sure. And it didn't really set in. I get to the train station, get up to Frankfurt, and then take the flight back. And somewhere in the early morning, somewhere over the Atlantic, I snap up out of sleep, out of my slumber on the airplane. And I go, oh my God, that's Music Fit. That's what I do. I train musicians. That's combining all the loves. That's perfect. So needless to say, I didn't come back to Germany for the development camp, and instead started what is now known as Music Fit. So the moral of the story, right? I mean, I was laughed at when I first brought that idea back to a bunch of my friends, a bunch of colleagues. oh, that'll never fly, because everybody goes, no, rock and rollers, they want to drink, they want to have a party, they don't want to get fit. There's no market there. That's crazy. You're insane, right? I heard it all. It was, you're crazy, you're a dreamer. They laughed me out of the room, right? The whole idea of musician wellness was just so obscure. And I persisted. Not only did I persist, but I wrote the effing book on musician wellness. Literally, it's called The Musician's Guide to Surviving the Rockstar Lifestyle. You can pick it up on Amazon. I'll make sure there's a link. And keep in mind, just due for a tune-up. That thing was written in 2017. So, yeah, we're due for a second edition, so stay tuned with that. But here we are, right? Universities, colleges, they've got wellness as part of their curriculum now. Wellness. Dedicated music schools integrate wellness into all of their programming. Music conferences, festivals, they all now have dedicated wellness summits, dedicated music wellness spaces, mindfulness rooms, the whole bit. Hell, I'm still called the Rock Doctor by the Aussies. More on that another time too. And I invite you to take a look around right now. Everything that you see that is around you, that is man-made, everything that you see was once only an idea, just like Music Fit. So what the hell are you waiting for to turn yours into a reality? Food for thought.